Good evening to all my wonderful viewers out there, and welcome back to another Streetwear Talk video, the series where I cover the latest streetwear releases, I cover the latest streetwear news, and of course in the series, well, we just discuss anything to do with streetwear or fashion. Now, in today's video, I'm actually not going to be covering the upcoming release that I'm going to be geeking out about today. I'm actually just going to be expressing all my thoughts and opinions on what I think is going to be releasing in the collab and just talk about why I'm keen on it, because at the current moment they haven't actually told us what's releasing in this collab, but I am very keen to cover that when that drops as well. What I'm going to be super keen to talk about today is the upcoming Supreme New York and Undercover by Jun Takahashi collaboration for Supreme's Spring-Summer 2023 season. Okay, but before I even start talking about this collab, even before I start talking about anything else, I've got to talk about what you guys did over the weekend that I've been super excited about. I've been wanting this for ages, and you know, I just had to take a moment out of this video to discuss it. So thankfully, to your guys' continuous support over the weekend, you guys helped the channel reach the subscriber milestone that I've been asking us to try and hit over this past month, which is 3,600 subs. And yeah, I needed to take a moment out of this video to thank the public and private subscribers for helping the channel out, because we've now reached 3,600 and I'm so happy with that. It's, you know, we've been climbing through 3,500, now we're at 3,600. I'm excited, I'm very happy. Thank you guys. It's awesome to see 3,600. I'm so keen to see where we can hit before the end of the year. 3,600 it's a good little milestone to hit for this month. So thank you for 3,600. Hopefully with your guys' continuous support we can reach 3,605. That is the next subscriber milestone that I'm gonna set. We've got like a couple days left in March. Hopefully, with your continuous support, we can reach that. But yes, now that we have increased our milestone by an extra 25, you know what I gotta do. So, goodbye to 3,575 subs. Please ignore the horrible handwriting. I cannot write with Sharpie at all. And hello to our new one, 3,600 subscribers. We'll chuck it there. Thank you guys. I wish there was, look, if you've got any suggestions on better ways to celebrate when we go up every 100, I'm on board for that. So let me know in the comment section below. We'll try and come up with some new ideas there. But yeah, I just wanted to thank you guys, put up our little milestone, start the video off with a nice fun little thing there. So thank you guys once again, and hopefully with your continuous support, we can reach 3,605 before the end of March. We can start talking about this collab, the collab that I'm very, very excited about, and I've been thinking about it all weekend, man. So, I mean, look, I'm so keen on it. I'm not even covering Kith Spring 2 at the moment, 2023. I've skipped straight ahead and started talking about a collab that we don't even have any confirmation on what we're actually going to be getting in this collab. Yeah, so, you know, I mean, I will get to covering Kith Spring 2, but I mean, I gotta talk about this, man. This is big. So yeah, it probably consists of most of my wardrobe, honestly. Two of the biggest brands in my wardrobe are collaborating once again, and they are collaborating this week for, is it week 6 of Supreme Spring Summer 2023 season? What are we getting? Well, I've kind of mentioned it a few times. We don't really have any ideas, but I want to kind of make an educated guess on what we're going to be getting, but I could be entirely incorrect as soon as I actually drop, like, you know, the editorial of models rocking it. Yeah, all that jazz. Like, I could be completely wrong, but I want to make some assumptions based off the teaser post that we've got. So yeah, what we'll be using is just the teaser post that was posted on both Undercover's Instagram and Supreme's Instagram to kind of like hype up and talk about this upcoming collab. And then, as I mentioned before, when we actually get the official drop, you know, what the editorial is, what the individual pieces are, we'll cover that too. But I really wanted to discuss this, so we'll just head over to that Instagram post now and I'll start talking about this collab, talking about what I think is going to be dropping in it, and just expressing my love for both brands and why I'm super keen on this collab. At the Undercover by Jun Takahashi Instagram post that teased this upcoming collab. And I guess Actually, on top of that, we can cover some release details as well. So for the worldwide release, or for the majority of the regions, they are getting it on the 30th of the 3rd. So that would be the Thursday. Of course, as we'd expect, when Supreme's dropping, we'll get that collab. But of course, Japan gets it a little bit later. They get it on the 1st of the 4th. So April Fool's Day. They get on April Fool's Day, which is actually a bit of fun as well. But yeah, those are the release details. That's all we've really got. I assume it's going to be the traditional, you know, release times and everything like that. But there we go. If you guys have any further questions about it, stay tuned for the Streetwear Talk video when we actually cover this collab, and the drop list for when we cover the actual week. But this is what we got. It showcases at least 2 pieces, where we can see on a puffer jacket, it showcases Undercover, their iconic U logo, Supreme in the Undercover font, 2023 anti-war. Then we have Undercover Supreme 2023 anti-war showcased on this flannel here, or at least something that has a very flannel pattern and design to it. Now, I'm very keen on this. It has been many years since Supreme and Undercover have collaborated. I think the last collaboration they did was spring summer 2018, when they collaborated together to do a Fear of the Black Planet Public Enemy collaboration, which, like, I love that. I love the album. I love Public Enemy. Recently I was listening to It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back. Fantastic album, fantastic artist. It's just a shame that I guess we didn't know that was going to be the last collaboration for a while, because like, I remember it dropping and I was like, wow, this is a fun collab, I can't wait for the next one. Little did we know that from 2018 till now there was going to be that desert of Supreme Undercover collabs, that dry period. Like, I was, yeah, like, if they said that was their last collab ever, I'd be like, oh, that kind of sucks. I was hoping for another one, but here we are. Luckily, we got another one. I am more of a fan of I think it's their first collab. I don't know if it's technically their first collab, actually. I'd have to go through Supreme's history again, but I think it was their spring summer 2016 collaboration, the one with the awesome anarchy purple trench coat, like the burgundy looking trench coat. Actually, it's probably more burgundy. Love the colors of that trench coat, love a lot of the pieces in that collaboration. Just quite hard to come across now, because, you know, it's like over 6 years old now in an XL, but I would love to pick up a bunch of that. But yeah, fantastic. I'm super keen to now finally see this collab, and I've loved their past collabs. I love both the brands individually and when they come together. If you guys have been watching my channel for a while, I've done countless undercover unboxings. I pick up a lot of pieces from their seasons secondhand from Japan, and same goes with Supreme. I pick up a lot of pieces secondhand, not retail though, just because it's quite hard to pick up Supreme at retail as an Australian, because I've got no direct channels. I got to buy it secondhand or through a plug. So yeah, a little bit more difficult there, but love both of those brands individually, and so far when they collab, I've been a fan of their pieces. Now that I've talked about my love for both of the brands individually, the love for their past collaborations, we should probably talk about this collaboration. Like, what are we expected to get in this collab? So it's been quite a few seasons from Undercover and Supreme since they last collabed. I've loved a lot of Undercover's, seasons by themselves since their last collaboration. Supreme, I wouldn't say that I love a Supreme season. I definitely say with Supreme, it's a very pick and choose type beat when it comes to, you know, going through their seasons and picking the pieces that you like. There's definitely better seasons than others, but I wouldn't say like a Supreme season is my favorite or anything like that. I'd say these pieces are my favorite from this Supreme season, or this Supreme season had my most favorite pieces in it. But definitely with Undercover, I would say that there are themed seasons that I could capsulate on my favorite. Actually, some of the recent ones have been I've really enjoyed. But anyway, getting back to it, I don't think we're gonna get any pieces in this collab that are inspired by any of Undercover's recent seasons. I just don't feel that's the case. And with this this teaser image, it's kind of reinforcing that, because like a lot of these silhouettes that I'm seeing in this image more so correlate with what Undercover's been recently doing in Undercoverism, their sub-label. So what I'm kind of thinking, just based off this image and like it kind of filling in those gaps there, I think that they're going to take an approach of like redoing or touching on silhouettes and designs that Undercover has done in Undercoverism in the past 5 years since their last collab. I don't think they'll take an archival approach, because I know Supreme likes to do that whenever they collab with a designer brand. They like to go with like an archival approach of like picking through like really old seasons with the brand they're collaborating with and grabbing stuff from there. Could they do it? I mean, yeah, they could definitely do it. Like, Supreme could take an archival approach with this collab and pull out stuff from like Undercover's early seasons. That might actually appeal to more hardcore Undercover fans, because I mean, from what I see from like my perspective is that a lot of Undercover fans are big fans of their early 2000s and late 90s seasons, and not so much the newer seasons. So if Supreme wanted to please that audience more, maybe, you know, taking that archival approach would be the way to go. But just looking at like the flannels, puffer jackets, that's stuff that Undercover's been touching a lot recently in the past like 4 years in Undercoverism. Like, I've seen there was that puffer jacket with like the asymmetrical lines on it and stuff like that zigzag kind of pattern on it. Love that piece, and you would rarely ever catch me saying I love a puffer jacket. They did a lot of flannels where they did like the front and back panels with different fabrics and different materials, and the bottom of the flannels with different materials as well. They touched on their design from the early 2000s. I can't remember from which season. It might have been Scab. I'm not too well versed in their early 2000s seasons, where they have like sweatpants on the front and jeans on the back, or vice versa. I can't remember particularly which way it is. I think it's jeans on the front, sweatpants on the back, like half and half. Yeah, so I just feel like they're going to be approaching those kind of pieces. I feel like Supreme's going to grab those kind of pieces and like mess around with those a little bit. Maybe put some like funky Apple graphics on, or like really utilize Undercover's like graphic t-shirts and the designs on their graphic t-shirts and putting those on pieces, which isn't a bad way of approaching it, because Undercover does awesome t-shirts. I just wish they were a little bit bigger, because even in size 5 in some of the seasons, it's like a little bit tight on me. I don't actually personally own any Undercover shirts, but I've looked at the sizes online in Japan, and I'm like, man, if I want that shirt to not look like a wet rag stuck to my gut, I would need a big size, and even the size 5 may not fit me, except for in their most recent seasons, like seasons in their 21 year or 22 year, those have gotten bigger. But I think I'm like directly referring to like the Cindy Sherman season, where everything was a bit more form-fitting there. Even the size 5 t-shirts would be like, they'd be pretty stuck to me if I was to manage to pick them up in a size 5. But anyway, going back to it, Undercover does fantastic shirts and graphic shirts and stuff like that. So I could Supreme tapping into a bunch of their graphics they've used over the past 5 years on their t-shirts and doing a bunch of pieces with that. Like, I could see that. Yeah, it's kind of hard to forecast what we're actually going to be getting this week in this collab. I mean, anti-war, we could go back and take like an archival approach and look at all like the grungy aesthetic Undercover seasons, and maybe they could pull stuff from there. I'm kind of just pulling any idea out of my head that I could think of that they could try and pull for this one. But I guess those are all the ideas that I think of when I like try and think about it. Obviously, Undercover fans that would be well versed, more versed than I am, would be able to pick out probably more ideas on what Supreme would be tapping into. But yeah, I just have a feeling it's not going to be an archival approach. It's probably not going to be a redesign of pieces we've seen over the past 5 years. It's probably going to be them tapping into Undercoverism and the stuff they've done there in the past 5 years, because that aesthetic of their sub-label matches more with Supreme than mainline Undercover does in general. From my perspective, at least. I don't know. That's just all my thoughts with it. Either way, excited for the collab. We'll keep picking up more Undercover, keep picking up more Supreme. I'm constantly on the hunt for it secondhand, just because it's cheaper, it's easier, and you know, I like to limit myself. I don't want to spend thousands of dollars on a piece. I'd rather spend like a couple of hundred on like a secondhand one that maybe has a bit of wear to it, you know, things like that. But I'm going to be copying from each of these brands. If there's any pieces in this collab that I really like, I definitely will be picking up some. Probably not at retail though. I'll probably find it secondhand in Japan for like a cheaper price down the line. But yeah, I guess that's everything I really need to talk about. Otherwise I'll be talking for like half an hour here about everything to do with it, guys. How do we feel? Is it a yes? Is it a no? are you keen on this collab, or do you just think like they should stay in their own lanes and not collab together? What do you think is going to be in this collab? What is it going to be? I'm placing bets on redo of undercoverism pieces, but I could totally be wrong. Everything I said could have totally been wrong. We'll find out in like less than 24 hours when they actually post like the editorial and the pieces. But I'll be keen to see either if I'm proven wrong or proven right. I will be covering it regardless, guys. Let me know how you feel about this collab and what you think it's going to be in it down in that comment section below. And that's basically everything I probably wanted to cover in this video. Again, I could probably drone on about it for hours on end. I love both of these brands, man. I'm definitely going to be picking up like more Undercover in the future, more Supreme in the future. It's just like whatever comes my way in my size and at a good price, you know? Especially with the Undercover section of it, it's always harder to get Undercover stuff in my size than it is to get Supreme stuff in my size. But yeah, you'll definitely still see me picking up a lot of that stuff moving forward in the future, even though that I want my aesthetic to go down like the Americana, Japanese Americana styles more. I like have an undying love for Supreme and Undercover, so I feel like I'll always be picking up from them. But yeah, we covered the release details. It's releasing this Thursday, 30th of the 3rd, or if you're in Japan, you get it on April Fools. It's a fun little joke there for you. But I reckon it still will drop on that day anyway. But yeah, would love to hear anything you got to say about it, guys. Are you keen on it? Are you not keen on it? Have you picked up any Undercover recently? You've probably picked up a lot of the Supreme recently, so we'll ignore that. Let me know your thoughts on all of this down in that comment section below. And of course, guys, if you want me to keep covering upcoming Supreme collabs, upcoming Undercover collabs, upcoming Undercover releases, or Supreme collabs, you got to give me the 3 indicators that I didn't shut up about in March, which of course is a like on this video, a comment in that comment section down below, and the best indicator of them all, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. As I mentioned today, we hit the subscriber milestone of 3,600. Very, very happy about that. Thank you guys for the continuous support. Hopefully with your guys' continuous support, we can reach the new milestone that I set at the start of 3,605. Hopefully with the continuous support, we'll hit it before the end of the month. But that is everything I got to say about the collab, guys. I'm very keen to see what we're actually going to get in this collab. Of course, I'll do a drop list video talking about it. Of course, I'll do a streetwear talk video talking about it. It's all to come. So stay tuned for all that. And until the next Supreme video, until the next Undercover video, until the next streetwear talk video in general, guys, I'll catch you later.